Great. Well, I'm joined by David, who arrived at Choose Again in the last 24 hours, and we're here to get his first impressions and what his motivations are for his time here. So David, welcome to Choose Again here in Costa Rica. Tell us, what are your first impressions?
I think Costa Rica is an absolutely beautiful country, and that I had never been here before, so that was really a wonderful thing to sort of have access to by coming down here. And my first impression was that it, again, when I first arrived and I looked around, I thought, what have I done? Like, this sort of looks like Camp Dietrich or something, and that, I was worried that perhaps it was going to prove to be a little bit too much of a commune type relationship between the guys here and what they talked about. So I was a bit apprehensive. And then when I first arrived, I was welcomed by two of the staff here who were absolutely wonderful. I mean, just sort of made you feel that you were incredibly welcome, and that was a huge help, because as I was feeling more apprehensive, it sort of, to have something like that happen just changed everything. And then once I got here, they helped me settle into the room, which again was a bit like a monk's chambers when I first looked at it, because I had been sort of not really sure. I knew that accommodations would be simple, but I wasn't sure what that meant. But it was everything I needed. And so and they even had cut flowers in my room, which I thought was a nice touch compared to the simplicity. So my first impression was that it was going to probably be a time spent being very reflective, almost like a monk would be, judging by my room.
Brilliant. Thank you, David. Okay, question 2. How did you come to hear about Choose Again?
Friends of mine had worked with Dietrich in Vancouver as a counselor for them. And they're friends that I really trust, and they're friends that I knew it had really made a difference in their life and their relationship. And so they brought my wife and myself to one of the information meetings when the center first opened down in Costa Rica. And so when I was there, I really had that feeling that this was the right place for me, but I was wondering how I was going to fit it into my life. And the nice thing is, at that time in Vancouver, they were offering workshops as well, and going to the workshop is what really steeled my resolve to come down here, because I've done 2 workshops now, and each workshop has been an epiphany as far as things in my life that I needed to know and about myself, and I thought coming down to Costa Rica would take that experience to a whole new level.
Great, thank you. Tell us, what exactly were your motivations for choosing to come here?
I'm at a stage in my life, in my 50s, where I think that you've looked at all the things that you acquired or the goals that you set when you're a young person, and what you start to realize is once you have those things and you feel that that aspect of your life is taken care of, that's when you start thinking about, okay, who am I? And I think especially when your kids get older, they really don't need you anymore, so therefore you have to spend a lot more time with yourself, and you really do have to kind of get a sense of what happens to the second half of your life. And so I think that's a big motivation, because I realized that I had gone from being a student and graduating and doing my profession and then getting married and having children, that I had all these different roles, but really none of them were actually a reflection of who I am deep inside. And I really feel that at this point in my life, I'm more interested in sort of trying to figure out my soul versus my ego. I've done the ego bit, it's certainly not that satisfying, and so now it's time to really start to focus on what's most important.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What is it you believe you're lacking right now that you're looking to address or work on during your stay here?
I think it's a sense of joy, that there are many things that bring you pleasure in life, but when it comes down to it, it's finding something that makes you feel satisfied inside at a much deeper level. There are many things, your children, your relationships, all those things can definitely be a source of joy, but I still feel that something's missing, and I want to make sure that the next few years I actually can access it.
Brilliant. Can you describe to us a little about your situation prior to coming here that helped you decide that a visit to Choose Again would be helpful to you?
I think throughout the last 30 years of my life I've done a lot of spiritual sort of research. I've read Tao Te Ching, I've read all different types of religious works from various other people who think they've got it or have achieved what it is that most of us want to achieve in life. And I think in the end, when I was going to the workshops, I found that through some of the techniques that Dietrich and his counselors teach, that I was finally tapping into this unconditional love, which is the thing all these religions have talked about. And the fact that unconditional love exists for all of us. Doesn't matter what religion you are, doesn't matter what color or what nationality, none of that matters. It's all about unconditional love. And the thing, whether you want to say that's God or whatever it is that connects all of us, is the thing that we're all trying to achieve in this spiritual journey. And through the workshops I found that that was the closest I've ever come to that. And when I actually felt it, it was a sense of loss that I couldn't find that in other aspects of my life. And I know it's there. And Dietrich talks about the fact that it is there. And it's not that it's hiding from you, you're just not ready to find it.